Hey, as the title says, this is Justin Jimmy Dore. Jimmy, uh, friend, stop calling yourself a jagoff comedian, okay? Stop putting yourself down because you know what? Here's the simple truth. The reason why you're so respected is because you are smarter than the average bear, and putting yourself on equal footing and calling yourself stupid to the criminals that call themselves Democrats, or the Republicans, or those criminals that are on the Main Street corporate news and the corporate media and the press. Don't do that to yourself. You're far smarter. You're more clear-eyed. You're more clear-eyed, and you're woke. You're thinking critically, and so stop tweeting at these people and telling them that you're a stupid jagoff comedian, because you're not. You hold a special. You hold a special place because you do think critically, because you are woke, and because you don't follow the crowd or the herd. You're not a sheep, and there's a distinction that I've decided to start using. There are the human animals, then the human beings, and you are the latter. You are a human being because you're always working and thinking to advance yourself, to evolve, and human animals don't evolve. They refuse to evolve. They're woefully willing to be the sheep, and you're not. And I don't. I wrote a comment on the. I just wrote a comment on one of your more recent videos on that very topic. There are very few whom I utterly respect, and that's the RealNews.com, Jimmy Dore Show, um, Lee Camp. Although both of you made a mistake by putting talking about talking about that Ben and Jerry's, those idiots, and their so-called philanthropy, um, and their advocacy, because I don't believe them. I've learned too much about them to believe that they are progressives in any way. All they are scam artists, and I wouldn't throw out a twig if they were drowning. Um, as for others, I watch TYT, but uh, Jenk, I respect him, and I respect the TYT crew, but they keep going with this whole crap that any Dem will do, especially back during the midterms. And the thing is it's not. And you made the same on a video I just watched. And any of them will not do, because any human animal will not do. What we need are human beings who are woke, who are working to evolve, otherwise progress, and that's what you do, and that's what I try to do. And the thing is the people that watch your program, who are avid supporters of your show, they are trying to be woke, to progress, to evolve. Those who watch the real news do the same thing. I also watch Tom Hartman, but there are times where I get frustrated with Tom, just as I get frustrated with TYT, and I get frustrated with Democracy Now. Um, there are a lot of progressive, quote unquote, progressive shows that still play by the rules of the criminal human animals who have legitimacy. And I don't play those games. I don't acknowledge those games, and I get angry and frustrated at those who I know, like my parents. My parents and my family members are good people, but they have a tendency to play into the rule books of these human animals, these criminal human animals. Uh, they watch and listen and buy the con games, and that really frustrates me because I know I know they are better than that, and I and though you got to understand my family does my particularly my mother and father are very involved in doing social programs, starting them, and being involved with them. Like Christmas in the City. My father also goes to uh, goes to rural Kentucky where the tobacco farmers and others they're and how they're not getting how they're being ripped off left and right. Um, or going down to South America and doing the same thing. Doing what basically what is it? Uh, building or fixing homes and stuff like that. Um, my father's involved in a ton of stuff, and they both give to all these charities. But my view on these charities is that largely they're all con games and scams, and so I, uh, I get frustrated with that. They're Catholics, and they tried to raise me as a Catholic, but uh, I I didn't I don't like Christianity, especially the Catholics. Uh, but when I say that, I don't mean the actual people. I'm talking about the criminals that have positions within the Catholic organization, and I may have I don't know if I posted a video about it, but I posted comments. My first experience with Catholics was the first orphanage I was at, run by a bunch of so-called nuns who beat the ever living tar out of me and a bunch of other children. When I was five or something like that at the time, we were put into a unventilated, windowless room to put together these plastic holly ornaments for sale, supposedly to fund the orphanage. And if you didn't do it, then you would they beat the ever living tar out of you. That this big oak paddle with 1 inch, half-inch holes, and beat the ever living shit out of you if you didn't work. And that's slavery. Um, and then a second orphanage which was funded by Catholics and Catholic organization. It was run by a bunch of friggin' 20-year-old college kids, and white college kids at that. And they're going around fucking everywhere, and pornography here and pornography there, and swearing and everything else. Didn't really pay attention to the kids. The kids were put to work, keeping the place running, cooking and all that. No safety whatsoever. No guidance. So I learned from an early age that the Catholic Church is basically criminal organization, and the fact that there are thousands upon thousands of kids being raped by the supposed religious men, and then and you have nuns going around beating the shit out of little kids and working them as slave labor. Yeah, that's not really all that religious, is it? Anyways, I'm going away from the point is that Jimmy, you have more character, and you are most definitely a human being and not some of this human animal trash out there. So um, stop calling yourself a jagoff comedian. Stop calling yourself stupid. You're not. And I may and I'll admit right now that I'm an angry person. But I feel compassion for others, and I don't care about your skin color, the shape of your eyes. I don't care about about what you're supposedly have done. What I care about is, you know, uh, what I care about is being empathetic, and I don't I don't put up with people just arbitrarily going around and victimizing others, and and I know that's how you feel as well. All right.